Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties, and you're watching Real Estate with Dena. I really appreciate you watching the show today. We're going to give you a lot of helpful tips and information about all things related to real estate, whether it be commercial or residential. We'll also have guests on the show that might just provide you services that you might need, not necessarily related to real estate. So I just want to thank Now Media TV for having us and providing this platform for us to give you all this information, and hope you enjoy the show. We'll be right back with our first guest. Buying, selling, or renting a property is an important step that will impact your life and the life of your loved ones. In fact, research shows that having an experienced realtor ensures a better pricing, selling, buying, or renting a property. Hi, my name is Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties. If you want to buy, sell, or rent a property, call me. I have the resources and strong know-how to navigate your transaction with ease. At the same time, when necessary, I can perform market evaluations and assessments, make recommendations for any staging or renovations needed to make your property shine, and anything else needed to list your property and sell it as fast as possible. Additionally, I'm a master certified negotiator and can provide several financing solutions. The goal is to sell your house fast and for the highest price possible, or find you your dream home and negotiate the best deal. Leave the selling, buying, or renting of your property to me. Take a strong step, reach out to me today so I can handle all your real estate needs. Hi everyone, back with my first guest today. They're a father-daughter duo, Ariana and Lionel Gibbons. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
They actually represent two different companies, so we're going to talk about both of them today. First, we're going to talk about their security business, which is Ageint Security. And well, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourselves and kind of what got y'all in the business. And
Well, I'm a military veteran, retired Navy, and
thank you for your service.
so thank you. I've pretty much been doing security since I was 18, and it was something that I was very interested in, and once I retired, I came back to it.
Okay.
See, for me, it just kind of runs in my blood, right?
Yeah.
With my pop. But no, I actually got into security as a job to pay for college. So that's kind of where I started, and I just kind of followed in his footsteps afterwards.
Awesome. So it's nice that y'all get to work together and spend that kind of time together, because I know after college and all that, you're like, okay, see ya.
Oh,
You know, you don't get that opportunity to really kind of spend time. So working and breathing and doing everything together is a great opportunity to spend time with each other.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I spend more time with her than I do with my wife.
Well, this is my best friend right here.
At least it's not someone that she'd get jealous of, you know?
Well,
Aw.
time
That's
is
awesome.
important.
My daughter's 3, and Daddy is definitely going to be her best friend too. You know, there's something about the
yes.
Daddy's little girls that I'm learning very quickly. You know,
Yes.
it didn't take, but as soon as she turned 1 and actually could say something, that Daddy was the first word, and it's been the only word that comes out. No, just kidding. It's a little bit much, a little over exaggerated, but you know, definitely something that she's definitely a daddy's girl.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Tell me a little bit about the business. You know, I noticed the agent spelled a little differently.
Yes.
What is there a meaning behind it or a purpose behind spelling it?
Well, it's actually a play on words. It stands for age intelligence. And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on in Ageint Security, is that you're not going to get the little cameras that last maybe 30 days or you can't see anything on them. You're going to get the best of the best, and that's what we provide. Quality is number one.
Essentially, our technology develops with time. So as time goes on, there's new things, better things, and we try to accommodate that in everything that we do.
Oh,
Absolutely,
awesome. That's
absolutely.
very cool. So, I mean, you have to be keeping up with the times now. Things change so quickly all the time. Technology is changing so quickly. I mean, can't even keep up with it. I mean, I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm starting to notice the difference between the millennials, and I'm not a millennial. So, starting to notice the difference, just even, TikToks, and it's just the simple things, on the internet that you're kind of like, oh, what is that?
Right,
and it's just
right.
like how fast those things are changing and picking up. I can only imagine with security and the way people are,
Oh yeah.
I mean, just even computer firewalls and all that kind of stuff that people can just break into and do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I
Correct.
would imagine it's really
You have to
important.
stay on your toes. You have to stay on your toes
Absolutely.
and be one step ahead.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about the company itself.
Well, back in 2018, a gentleman by the name of Daryl Haynes decided that he wanted to build a security company from the ground up. And that's what he did. And he started out by door knocking. And matter of fact, he knocked on my door and sold me my camera system. We've been pushing and trying to bring security to all of Houston as much as we can, and ever since. So his vision, which is a lofty goal, is for everybody to have security. Everybody deserves that. They deserve to be able to take care of their family as well as the things that they work hard for.
And feel safe and secure. I mean, I think it's the most important these days when you're just
Absolutely.
gun laws and all kinds of stuff is just out of control, and we're getting all these
Absolutely.
people from all over, different cities, different stuff, and we don't
Yes.
know. Man, like, there's one thing with Houstonians, but then once you're getting all these transplants into the city, it's just kind of getting a little out of hand and crazy. So it's definitely nice.
Yes.
All the time when I sell houses, they're like, oh, we'll talk about it later. It's not something they want. And, obviously you get the phone calls from the telemarketers right away. As soon as I sell a house, I see the numbers of the telemarketers calling right away. What sets you apart from maybe those bigger companies that are, kind of the ones that have been around forever and kind of just, you're run of the mill, everyone knows the names,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, we spoke about a couple of things. Number one, the technology. Number two, Daryl Haynes and his vision. I would like to say that besides those, it's the fact that we care. We're local here, so if you have any problems with camera systems or anything of that nature, you don't have to call, get a recording. Somebody gets back to you 10 days from now, and your cameras have been down or something is happening. So customer service has always been a big thing for me, and it is a huge thing for Daryl. And we like to make sure that people are comfortable and happy, and being local, being able to provide that is a big thing for us.
How many salespeople do y'all have here locally in Houston?
We have several.
Okay.
We have different types of salespeople as well, I believe we'll get into that a little later. But there's several. People who knock on doors. There's people that work in B&I groups and go off of referrals. And there's also law enforcement and others.
Okay. I hear you saying law enforcement and military and stuff like that. Is there something special to that? Or, do you give special deals or special discounts or something like that for people that are in the military or special, healthcare or things like that?
Well, first off, I'd like to say thank you to all of those people. Military, law enforcement, first responders, teachers. These are the people that tend to get overlooked, and we as a country, we can't do that. Second of all, I'd like to say that if you are watching, we have discounts for you. We are ready to do whatever we can to earn your business. You deserve it. Me being prior military, my heart is always surprised and shocked and in awe when people do stuff for the military. We have a lot of law enforcement officers that are customers and who give out referrals and things of that nature. They really like us, and the main reason why is because of our quality and our customer service.
I mean, if a law officer can come to you and speak to you about our system, just imagine what kind of message that sends to everyone else. If it's good enough for law enforcement, you bet it's good enough for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, I mean, speaking on that, like last week I had a guest on the show and talked about just even stopping by your local firehouse and just dropping off some food, but they're like, don't cook it, because they could be out for 3 or 4 hours,
Right,
sure it's
right.
frozen meat or whatever, so they
Right.
can put it in and cook it at their choice and how they want to cook it and when they want to cook it.
Yes.
Because they might already have food set up that day or something
Yes.
like that, but just
There are
stopping
many.
by and giving a lending hand, just offering food or just a hello, thank you for your service. It doesn't even have, you don't even have to spend money really to go and thank, first responders and people like that to just make a difference in their day. Just showing appreciation, I think, just goes a long way with people.
I can't agree with you more. Just saying thank you to me for my service means the world to me. We sacrifice a lot so that you don't have to sacrifice. And that means a lot to me when it's heartfelt and comes from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I appreciate it. And I know, obviously being in real estate and being out and about and seeing you kind of get a very great picture, an ugly picture sometimes of what's happening around you, and you have to be very aware. So it's always, the comforts of living, I guess your awareness is heightened, just being in the real estate world, just because there's always so many moving parts and
Right.
so many different things happening at all times. So.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention before we move on that Daryl Haynes, the owner and CEO, is a former Marine.
That's awesome.
So it is veteran
Appreciate his
owned and
service as well.
operated.
So where can people go? I mean, just finding more information about you guys and do some research and dig deeper into the services you offer.
Well, they can always Google us. We have 5-star reviews on Google. They can also see us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We also, I believe, have an Instagram, don't we?
Yeah, I do believe that Ageint has an Instagram as well. I mean, aside from our obvious website, right? You guys can always go and look at what we have to offer. Facebook gives a really, really good visual representation of what our camera systems are like. From our 4K cameras that just move on their own and track and all that other great stuff, to even just our basic ones, which are still above the rest. So there's great information out there on Ageint Security.
Awesome. And do you serve all of Houston, or are there specific areas you target, or?
Well, we're home based in the North Houston.
Okay.
However, we've done jobs in Corpus Christi. We've done jobs in Dallas,
San Antonio, Austin.
Huntsville, all over Montgomery.
Okay, so Texas in general, really, you could
We
do
will
it all
go.
of Texas, so not just Houston and surrounding areas.
Correct.
Is that based on the bigger or smaller job that you would go that far, or I mean?
I think that really just shows our reach and how many people that we have outside of Houston. Who,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
talk-
Agents.
I don't think
Right.
there's any.
Salespeople, sales
Right.
reps.
I don't think there's any job that we would turn down as being too small.
Okay.
Everybody deserves security.
100%.
They
Do you do
deserve it.
commercial as well as residential?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
And what type of businesses do you target? If you are, just any and every business, or is there specific people that you?
Well, I mean,
Work
it
with?
goes back to what I said in the beginning. Everybody is a potential customer. I mean, everybody's residents. I don't care if you live in a gated residence, a community, or if you live on the side of, on a street or a cul-de-sac. You can be a victim. And the thing is, with security, you are refusing to be a victim. You are doing something about it. You're being proactive. You want to make sure that your family and whatever like I drive a Tesla, whatever you've worked hard for is protected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to say, there are a lot of folks that they wait until afterwards to, get a security system.
Like I mentioned, my
Right,
clients,
right,
they're like, oh, we'll
afterwards.
get it, later. So I'm like, well, I would get it when you move in, call, interview multiple companies, do whatever you need to do, but you know, figure out which is the right fit for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, those gated communities, someone just follows someone in. You know,
Yeah,
Sure.
it's not like
Sure.
only those are per se. I mean, the best.
exactly.
It's not a security system. It's just
It's a
gate.
layer. It's a layer of security.
it
a little
is.
deterrent.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
but it's not.
Right, but I mean, crime has no zip code. You know, your dogs are not going to tell you who came into your home, right?
If you're asleep, you can't use your gun
Right.
and sleep at the same time.
Someone's got to shoot your guns, right? All of that is everywhere.
Well, and sometimes they say, I mean, you live in River Oaks or wherever. I mean, they're gonna. Why wouldn't they target? They're gonna go target the rich people before they're gonna go target people
You
that don't
know.
have anything.
Right.
Let's go to the people that have everything. You
Right.
know?
Right.
And so I don't think that I agree with you. It doesn't matter what zip code, where you live, what you do. I mean, anywhere in
Yep.
Houston, you live in a major city, there's going to be crime. It
Absolutely.
doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in.
Absolutely.
You know, the
Yep.
worst neighborhoods are the best neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
You know, there's still going to be crime there, and you still got to protect your family. I mean, my Ring doorbell got stolen, so I, mean, I was like, really? Like, what? They're like, do you have video? I'm like, no, it's gone. You know, like, we don't have. You know, they literally unscrewed it and took it because my sister-in-law was trying to come over to the house and she was like, a few times she was so frustrated. She was like, "There's no doorbell," and we're like, "It's right outside the gate." You know, we kept saying it's right outside the
Wow.
gate. So finally, she like took us. She was like, "No, y'all do not have a doorbell." And it took us like a week to figure it out. Like we went outside, we're like, "Oh, we don't have a doorbell." You know, it seems like so simple. So I think even being able to bolt it in or do something like that. So.
Provide you with a camera that actually, when you can do a number of different things with instead of just seeing somebody at the door or talking with
Absolutely,
them.
multiple that follow and do things. So.
Yes, yeah. There's so many choices for your security needs, and everything is customized for you. It's not a package that we give everybody. It's not here's one thing, here's another thing. It's tell me what you need so that I can make the best recommendations for you.
Awesome. Well, let everyone know how they can get a hold of you guys.
Well, they can, of course, go on our website, and that way they can reach out to a number of different salespeople. If they want to get in touch with us personally, I can be reached at 832-275-6927, and my email address is lgibbons@agentsecurity.com.
And for myself, it's 713-252-7651. And I can also be reached at my email at agibbons@agentsecurity.
Awesome. You make that very easy for people. You know, L Gibbons and A Gibbons.
There
you
you
got
go.
it. So once again, thank you for coming on. We will be right
Thank
back
you.
with Ariana and Lionel, to talk about their other business that they're involved in. So we'll see you right back in a few minutes.
All right.
Hi guys, I'm back again with Ariana and Lionel Gibbons, and we're actually now going to talk about Agent Solar as opposed to Agent Security. So let's dive in, I guess. Solar is probably something that so many people are curious about. You know, even myself. I mean, of course, I know what solar does and what the, purpose is and all that, but digging down, I really haven't talked to someone about it and really dug into the nitty-gritty of solar. So I guess first thing would be there are, once again, multiple companies that sell solar. What sets you guys apart from the other companies that?
Well, I think that's a really good question because a lot of solar companies, they pop up and then drop off the planet of the Earth quicker than they started, right? But for us, this is about family. And we are family owned and operated, of course, veteran owned. And also we're a small minority owned business. So you kind of got a lot of different packages in one, very diverse, right? You won't see that. You'll see some larger companies, some smaller companies as well, but there's not as much diversity there. When you become a part of our family, we treat you like family. So that's what makes us different.
I think that's really important in any business. Like, my husband always laughs at me because I'm like, my clients become my friends.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
absolutely.
Right.
I just help them purchase the biggest purchase of their life, or sell something they're in love with, that they're passionate about, you know.
Right.
So it's like you have to handle it in a way that I would handle my own family.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And
with respect, and they wouldn't do those things with you if they didn't trust you and they didn't feel the way that they feel about your relationship.
Right.
And we at Agent Solar, we try to cultivate that relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a third partner, Daryl Haynes, and he brings the experience of having his own company to ours. And with that edge, that pretty much puts us ahead of everybody
So
else.
kind of partnered with Daryl, with the agent security to kind of keep the same name. Let's explain the name again, where agent came from and what it,
Age Intelligence,
which I think is very clever.
yes. and with the solar, it applies again.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I mean, the technology in solar, you're talking about how big of a come up it has been in the last 30 years. Always new technology coming out, better technology, better batteries, storage options, all kinds of things that you can add to your system to make it even better. And so that's where that agent really comes into play, right? That age intelligent solution.
That's awesome. I guess what's your background and what made you get into this business?
It's kind of funny that you would ask that because previously I was working for a commercial roofing company before up in Dallas. And, I was happy. I was doing some things. I learned a lot about roofing in general. And when I came back, to home, to family, right, my family base, we sat down with Daryl and we talked. And he was like, you know what? I feel like you can do this. I feel like if you learn everything there is to know, that this business will thrive. And bringing in my roofing experience with that really helped to cultivate that.
Absolutely, because you have to put it on the roof, right?
Right.
And knowing what kind of materials and how it'll affect it, you don't want to damage the roof, and I think that's probably a big thing about just installation and being, proper about that part of it. So.
And see, even before she came home, I was looking into getting solar on my roof, and it just wouldn't work. I live in the woodlands, and I have too many trees.
Yeah, woodlands, it's trees.
And you can't cut them down. You may be able to, trim them, shave them a little, but you can't cut them down. So I'm lucky to have DirecTV right now.
Okay.
So, but I was always interested in solar, and I understood that it's the next step in our evolutionary path. Is to rely on other things for energy.
Okay. What are some of do you think are some of the misconceptions people have about solar?
Oh man. Woo. After the freeze, a lot of those misconceptions came out. Lots of ads for solar, right? It's gonna keep your power on, outside of, the power outages. It's free, the government will pay for it. There's a lot.
You do get a tax credit, though.
You
don't
do.
You
You do.
Not that the government pays for it, but you do get it. Because I got a mosquito system in my backyard, and it runs off of a solar panel. So we got a little tax credit for having that running on a solar panel. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of incentives to do it, and depending on where you are, whether you're here in Houston, if you're in Dallas, San Antonio, or just outside the state, different states have different incentives. But what is true for all states is that tax incentive. And so right now it's 26% of the total cost of your system. So you get a real good break on putting it on your roof or ground-mounted systems if that is what your preference is.
But beware, that tax incentive used to be 30%, and it will go down. We're not sure when, but it will go down. It may go to 22.
So after this year and the next, it's projected to go down to 22%. And then after the following year, it's set to disappear for residents. So residentially, if you really want to save on that bill, there's no better time than now.
Now, take advantage of the 26%.
Yes, take advantage.
Yes, because there's more solar being installed now than was 40 years ago.
Oh my gosh, every day it's some odd 100 new systems every day, and it's ridiculous.
Okay.
But just like he was saying, that's the way that it's going. That's the way that everywhere is going. They had an actual initiative that every house being built at each consecutive year had to be 5% more energy efficient. And so A&M and some other colleges actually have programs where they put small solar systems on houses to make sure that they meet that efficiency goal. And so moving forward, you're going to see a lot more houses with it just before you even buy.
Well, it's like builders and stuff. I mean, you have to have the double pane windows and things
Right.
like that now, just to
Right.
be more efficient.
Yep.
The
Right.
housework, you know. And so, like, I'm
Yes.
selling a house recently that was built in 1958, and someone was remodeling it and stuff. And it's like they didn't want to replace the windows. I was like, it's not going to sell like this. And you're not gonna sell it. I mean, like, this is single pane. Every time it rains, it's all humid on the outside.
Right,
It's kind of crazy. I'm
right.
like, that's not going to sell. You know,
Yeah.
you're going to have to replace the windows.
Yes.
Because that's just one thing. And they actually had the crank
Oh,
windows in the
the
bathrooms.
slats.
Like,
The
yeah, the
slats.
slats. I was like, okay, I'm like, I know I'm not young, but I'm not old. But I mean, wow, you know?
I
Like,
remember
and they
those.
still had those. And I was like, that's crazy. I mean, how energy inefficient is that?
Really?
I mean, that's literally just your air seeping out of your house.
Correct.
On top of
Correct.
the windows, it's
Yo-
like you're going to have to replace them.
Oh, yeah.
Your money is
Oh, yeah.
seeping out of the house.
Exactly, exactly.
You know, it's crazy changing with the times too as well. Now you have more people who are energy conscious. You know, they're more conscious of the footprint that they're leaving on this earth. You know, with all the environmental issues that we have going on now today, solar is something that helps that as well, right? You're saving not just, you know, the money in your wallet, but you're also helping to preserve this earth, which is what a lot of people are seeing in solar.
Yeah, because I feel like day to day, I mean, even in our lifetime, what we've seen as far as natural disasters and stuff like that have become catastrophic. You know,
Yes.
they're always around. Hurricanes and tsunamis and all these things didn't just come out of nowhere, but
Yeah.
tsunamis wiping out, you know, entire cities.
Right.
And you know, earthquakes that are like 20 times more,
More,
you
yeah.
know, harsher,
Everything,
and hurricanes that
everything,
are
yeah.
wiping out, you know, multiple cities at one time.
Or
And it's just-
islands and things
yeah,
of that
it's
nature.
just crazy how
Yeah.
much more scary natural disasters have become. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I've never been one of those ones that likes to watch movies like End of Days or any of those kind of things. I've always been like, ooh, your worst fear.
Right.
But, you know, I just think it's kind of crazy. And I think, you know, when you are more aware of what you're doing, like I just got back from Florida and, of course, Save the Turtles and everything's paper, and being in California, same
Yep.
thing. Like everything's paper.
Right.
Everything has to be compostable and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I think Texas is a little behind on that wave, but, you know, we'll catch up. I know we will, right?
Yes.
Well, what more can you do to be a Texan and be independent than create your own energy?
Yeah, absolutely. You bring yourself from a renting situation to an owning situation, and where you can control, you know, your footprint and how much energy you use.
So how do you know if you qualify for solar? You
So
know?
that's a really great question, because a lot of people think because I own a home, I should just automatically be able to put up, you know, a solar system. And there's a lot of things that go into it, but mainly, you know, in our process, we look at your home as far as, you know, we do a sunshade study to make sure that there are portions of your roof that will produce the energy that you need, right? We look at the full picture. How much energy do you consume? You know, is that something that's going to be good for solar or bad for solar? Do you have enough roof space? Oh my gosh, there's so many things that go into it, right? It's never a hair sign here. You qualify, let me put in my zip code. And a lot of companies will do that. They'll say, put in your zip code just to get your information and want to come out and talk to you. But I really just want people to understand that it's more than just owning a home. It's being able to have a roof that supports that. You know, having sun to produce the energy that you need. Because there are also a lot of companies out there that will sell you something that doesn't cover what you need.
Yeah.
And so,
Will it actually save you money? You know, does it
Exactly.
produce enough energy to save you money? in the
Right,
end?
and that's
Yeah.
the goal. That's the goal, is to offset what you produce, or excuse me, what you consume now, what you are paying the electric company for now with your own system.
right.
There, you can do it where it's an offset, but it's not as big of an offset, and you have two bills. You know, you can do that. After you pay for the system, it's almost like getting a portion of the electric bill off. But we try and aim at the best case scenario for you, and that's trying to offset you 100%, so you can enjoy it.
When I assume that, you know, I mean, obviously one of my biggest questions is the cost. right?
Sure.
I think I mentioned to you earlier that I heard of this crazy story recently. A friend of mine that's a realtor and trying to sell this house, and it had a system on it, and they had agreed for 20 years to make the $99 a month payment. I assume because of the difficulty that wasn't transferable with them. And so not only did they have to find a buyer for the house, but they had to find a buyer that would assume a $99 payment for next 20 years of this home.
Right.
Plus, I mean, I think they had a balloon payment also. It was like $8,600, which they agreed to pay. You know, they told any buyers that will pay the balloon payment that's due, but you will have to pay the $99 for the next 20 years. So.
Well, that's really interesting. I mean, there's several different options that you can go with that. The loan is actually transferable. But in the case that for whatever reason the person who's purchasing your home doesn't qualify for that, there are other ways to get that paid off, right? You can include it in the value of your home. Solar actually does increase the value of your home. You can also transfer it to another home within Texas to Texas. You can do that. If you like it that much, you feel like, I don't want them to have that benefit, I want to keep that benefit. It's always transferable to wherever you're going. So there is a lot you can do, and there's also some restrictions in that. But it's great to be able to tell that home buyer, listen, even though you're going to agree to pay this $99 for 20 years, your bill's not going to fluctuate. It's going to be cheaper than what's already out there. So you're already selling them a home that's going to save them in the end. And that's just the picture that you have to paint.
Yeah. I guess another question I would have is the damage on the roof if you do transfer it. You know, so, I mean, you have to drill that into a roof, correct?
Absolutely,
So,
yes.
I mean, if you're taking it off, would that roof need to be replaced after that, or what would be the case?
No. So the great thing about what we do is that we actually warranty our production, not just the production of our systems, right? But we also warranty the workmanship on the roof. And so that's over the whole span of your loan. Actually, even if you said this person had a 20-year loan, we go 25. So anything that goes on with the roof, which there shouldn't be any leaks, everything's water tempered, everything's replaced. Once you pull it off, we replace it with the right materials so that you don't have any leaks or any damages or anything like that. But if, in the offset that there is, right, the off case that happes, we take care of that. That's not the homeowner's responsibility.
I guess your roofing background really lends well to this.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because, I mean, with any system, you're going to make penetrations, but we have to make sure that we waterproof them. We have to make sure that we protect the integrity of that roof, because ultimately that's what's going to hold those panels, and that's what's going to protect, the people living inside.
Absolutely.
So that's our number one priority.
Okay.
And in actuality, the panels, once they're put on the roof, they become a part of the roof. So it behooves the owner of the house to make sure that they are insured with their homeowner's insurance. And it also protects the roof. It strengthens the roof, because if you have a hailstorm or something like that, instead of hitting your roof, they're going to be hitting the panels.
Yes, and all our panels are hurricane wind tested, hail tested. I mean, if anything happens to that panel, and it'll be covered regardless. But I mean, can you ask for something else to strengthen your roof like that?
So I know you mentioned that you do the cost, I guess, to see if it is beneficial for your home, you know, how much you spend and how much you save. And you could do a 25-year loan, or you could just pay it off type thing.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is more beneficial? Or do you think it just depends on people's finances? And I mean, because you can't really probably give me cost, because each house is going to be completely different, whether they need 1 panel, 20 panels, you know, size of the house, all that kind of stuff I know would matter.
Right. Because it is so custom, what we do is once we have the information, like their history of consumption and everything like that, what I'll do is I'll do a design and I'll lay it out, of course, using my sunshade study to see how big of an area I have to work with, decide the panels, show them the design. But really in our breakdown, we show you, cost versus benefit of renting versus owning, right? So we show you how much you're going to spend over the term of 30 years just to turn on your lights, use your electric stove,
Air conditioner.
your air conditioner, you know, just the basic things, right? That everybody,
Hair dryer, curling iron, whatever else you
Right.
use all the
If
time.
you
all
have
the
a
basic
pool.
things.
Yeah. Ooh, pools.
All the
yeah.
necessities, right? We show you what that looks like over 30 years. And then we show you what's that solar system that I custom designed for you looks like. And on average, I can't tell you, I mean, more than $18,000 of difference over the span of the term. And then after your term, that's yours. You own it. That's your electricity. That's not, you know, Texas's electricity. That's nobody's. That's just yours. So you truly independently own your energy.
You're producing your own energy.
That's kind of cool.
And I just want to go back and say, I've never heard of any balloon payments. That is certainly not how we put our systems together. And that, again, it goes back to asking what makes us different. That's part of it. We want to educate first,
Absolutely.
so you understand what it is that we're talking about and what it is that you might want to get involved in. And then we want to make it as painless as possible. Giving you a balloon payment for $8,000, you know, off the bat, and then $99 a month, that's not making it as easy as possible for you. You know, getting you a payment for the system that's comparable or less than what you're paying for electric now, that's making it painless.
So honesty and integrity is what I keep
That's
sensing
it.
and getting from you guys.
It's that military background.
Yeah. Well, and family.
Yeah,
and
And
family.
you're working with family.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
your partner has become family because
Yes.
y'all have been working together, and
Yes.
you started with the security, then y'all kind of came together and brainstormed, and
And we,
Ageint Solar came out of it.
and we never stop brainstorming. We want to make sure that whatever we put out, we're proud of it.
Yeah, I think that's the most important in any of our businesses, right?
Yeah.
We're all-
Correct.
Yeah,
We all
absolutely.
small business owners, and looking to help people and make the right decisions,
That's
in their
right.
life, and make sure that they're, getting the best deals that they possibly can, and we want to keep them as customers for life,
Right.
We don't want
Right.
most of us don't want a one-time deal. We run off of referrals from everybody, So if we don't act honestly and treat people as if they're family, everyone, then we don't get repeat business and we don't get referrals.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
That's the bottom line for all of us, in our businesses, is that we do look for, people to continue to give us business and help our businesses thrive.
Yes.
And so if we act honestly, then, hopefully that's just a natural
Yeah.
fit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, if y'all want more information about solar, I would definitely give Ariana and Lionel a call and get more information, or get that free assessment.
Yep.
It was a free assessment
Yep.
on your home to see if you qualify or if you need it. So that's what's nice. They're not going to just sell you something to
That's
have
correct.
it.
Right.
They're going to sell it to you if you need it and if it makes sense for your home and for your
100%.
business. So, and you do it for businesses as well, correct?
We do have one commercial partner that we work with. So
Okay.
yes, if there are businesses that are interested in, again, having their own energy independence, then we are definitely willing to work with them as well.
Awesome.
I mean, imagine as a person or as a family, when you move, and you know this, when you move, there are certain things you have to do. Cut on the lights, cut on the water, make sure that you have this and that. And these are ordinary things that we don't even think about twice. We know we have to have it. Just think with solar, you don't have to have it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. They can go to Ageint Solar and check them out and get more information and contact them that way. We'll be right back with my next guest.